So we're just up in the foothills above Highway 3 here, and it's a great place to sort of see the bigger picture of the landscape and why we're trying to connect across the highway. Highway 3, which obviously is a major east-west corridor and one of Alberta's busiest highways. In terms of east-west corridors, it's probably the second busiest after the Trans-Canada. And it cuts right through this set of ridges you can see here that have really phenomenal wildlife habitat on both the north and south side of the highway. And so you can see how essentially the highway cuts through the middle of that habitat.
Career, you think you've picked up thousands of them?
Thousands. I would say average, well, 16 years average of 200 a year, that's thousands.
And the toughest ones are when they're still alive?
When they're still alive, having to have somebody come put them down.
Part of it is that we live right close to the highway, and we see the road carnage, as some people put it, all the time, and it's kind of disturbing. And we'd like, both of us want to do our part to help the situation.
One of the problems we ran into on Highway 3 is that there wasn't a lot of information available that was documented. So there wasn't data that we could work with. But there was a community of extremely knowledgeable people. And so when you would be talking to local people or citizens or local biologists, they can tell you where the elk cross and get hit. They can tell you where the deer collision zones are. They can tell you where the bighorn sheep are always hanging out by the side of the road, but it's not documented. And so we developed a citizen science project called Roadwatch in the Pass that enabled the citizens in the region to document where wildlife were crossing Highway 3.
On our website, there's an interactive mapping tool. And that tool allows someone to say where we saw the deer earlier. Now we could show you where on that map and how to plot what you saw, make comments. People want to be engaged in the science part of it, in the collecting and the data and the telling of their story.
It was the first time they used the economic model on a single highway segment. And we actually showed that it's cost effective at 9 different sites along the highway to mitigate because of the number of wildlife vehicle collisions that are occurring on those sites. And that's fairly significant because you're suddenly talking a different language with transportation planners. You're suddenly saying, okay, not only does it make sense for the wildlife and for the humans and from a larger scale connectivity perspective, but it's even making economic sense from a societal perspective. So why aren't we doing this?